I'm Rob Streeter, and I'm the author of The Greats of Adirondack Fly Fishing. And this is my new book where I profile 6 anglers who made history in the Adirondack. As part of this, this is another one of the fly tying videos that I'm doing in a series from the book. And if you're interested in the book, I'll have information at the end of the video on how you can purchase one. Today we're getting into the last couple of fly tiers that we profiled here. And his name was Fran Betters. Betters was located in Wilmington, New York. He had an iconic fly shop, probably best known for the cartoon scantily clad young lady who hooked herself. That was the sign that was out in front of the shop. And the interesting story is there was actually 3 of those signs. The first one, somebody really liked it and Fran sold it to him. The second one, the snowplow broke it and destroyed it, and then they had a third one made. But the shop was kind of known for that sign. Betters' father guided a lot of the best fly anglers of the day, including Ray Bergman. He used to go with Fran Betters' father. And Fran, as a young man, learned how to tie flies from his mother because they were tying all the flies that the father's clients were using. Fran's dad worked for the highway department, but he also had a side gig as a guide and did a lot of trout fishing along the Ausable, and that's where he learned it. Probably one of the better stories about him is perhaps the most unfortunate. He had big dreams. He wanted to be an engineer and build things like the Suez Canal, or big buildings or things that were going to last forever that he was going to be known for. And unfortunately, as a young guy, he and his friend were out in the car and probably had a little bit too much to drink, and there was a car accident, and he was forever damaged from that car accident. They didn't think he was ever going to be able to walk again, and he would just kind of crawl out to the Ausable, and with the goal of he was going to walk in the river and fish again. And he eventually did. And instead of traveling to faraway places, he stayed there the rest of his life and ran a fly shop. He was known worldwide for his fly shop. So the fly we're going to tie today is called the Haystack. It's probably one of the precursors to the Comparadun. And it's a pretty simple fly, but it's very effective as a dun pattern. So we'll get right into that right now. Okay, so the Haystack is pretty simple. It's going to be deer body hair and dubbing and thread. That's it. Now, one of the things you might wonder is, okay, why an orange thread? And that was one of the things that was pretty unique to Betters. Some of his most famous flies, he always had the orange thread on them. And I think one of the things is the fly gets more chewed, you catch a couple fish, that orange starts showing through, and it seems to really turn fish on. That's my best guess as to why he did that. But he used hot orange thread a lot. So we're going to start the thread. Run it down to the back. Trim it off. And we'll get a bunch of our deer hair for the tail section. Okay, so we'll get that tied in. And we'll trim the front part off. come up right about that far. Now we gotta have a bunch for the wing. Go a little bit more than we did for the tail. So I want to have just enough for the wing to stand up. Be about right there. I'm going to bind that down. And I'm going to trim the excess off. Today's the 4th of July, so the humidity is real high and stuff is sticking to my fingers here. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to put some dubbing wax on the thread. I also think maybe I want to come up just a little bit more. My wing. We'll get down to the back, wax up our thread. Now, Betters used Australian possum, so the standard haystack was with a tan color. I'm just going to use a tan dubbing. I don't have the Australian possum. I don't think it's going to matter that much. Okay. Come in with our body. Add a little bit more. Come up and build it up in the front of that deer body here. So we'll get a little bit more of it. We're going to build that up in the front. And just make the head of the fly. And once I find it, do the whip finish. And we'll get a drop of glue. And that's it, the haystack. The last step is, and we got stuff going every which way. We got a couple guard hairs we'll get rid of down here. And you want to splay the wing out so that it's at 180 degrees. And that's it. I mean, it's a simple dry fly, but it's incredibly effective and you don't need any hackle. Clean it up a bit, and there it is, the haystack. So if you liked the video, please go ahead and hit subscribe, and please feel free to send any comments. I've been hearing from a lot of people. We've got a couple more videos in this Adirondack series, and I've had such a positive response from the fly tying videos that I'll be doing more. I have 2 more series that I'm going to do. One's from another of my books, and I had a fellow ask me to tie some historical type flies for him, and I'm shooting video of those, so we'll keep it going. And there's information, like I said before, on how to buy the book at the end. So thank you very much for watching.